Is it okay for us to judge others? Many believers often quote the Bible and say, "Do not judge, or you will be judged." But is that what the text is trying to say to us? Let us take a look at Matthew chapter 7 and see what it's trying to say. "Judge not, that you be not judged. For with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. And with what measure you mete, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdeth the mote in your brother's eye, but considerest not the beam in your own eye? Or how will you say to thy brother, Let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then you shall see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye." So, what Jesus is saying here is that you must not be hypocrites in your judgment. How can you correct someone of doing wrong when you yourself is struggling with the same sin? Let us take a look at the definition of the word hypocrite. Hypocrisy is the practice of engaging in the same behavior or activity for which one criticizes another, or the practice of claiming to have moral standards or belief to which one's own behavior does not conform. In moral psychology, it is the failure to follow one's own express moral rules and principles. The mote in thy brother's eye is the sin he is struggling with, and the beam in your own eye is the same sin that your brother is struggling with. How then are you going to correct your brother who is struggling with a particular sin you yourself are struggling with? This is why Christ said, "Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of your own eye." This is to overcome your own sin. "And then you shall see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye," to be able to correct him and steer him in the right direction. So Matthew 7 is not saying that you cannot judge, but it's saying that you must not be hypocrite in your judgment. And to further establish the fact that the Bible is not saying we cannot judge, let us look into a few scriptures. 1 Corinthians 2 verse 15. "But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man." So a spiritual man or a righteous man, he does not judge some things or only what he has overcome, but he can judge all things. John 7 verse 24. "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment." Now the Pharisees had an issue with Jesus healing a man on the Sabbath, and Jesus had explained to them that if a boy could receive circumcision on the Sabbath, and the law of Moses was not broken, how were they mad at him for making a man every whit whole on the Sabbath day? So we cannot merely judge based on what we are seeing, but we must judge in accordance to God's will. We cannot judge a person to put them down, but it must be to uplift and to better the person spiritually. You also cannot judge a person's salvation, as that type of judgment is reserved to God, who searches the heart and the deep things of mankind. Let us take a look at Galatians 6 verse 1. "Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, you which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted." You see, a lot of us use Matthew 7 as a means to avoid correction and reproof, and that's not how it's supposed to be. We cannot allow ourselves to be servants of sin, as we were called by Christ to come out of sin and submit our minds to God. Thanks for watching, and please share the video.